I get to say a few things that I really have been wanting to say for quite some time since I've been told about this project. My name is Mark Isaacson, and I'm proud to be the director of the King County Wastewater Treatment Division. I work with 650 very dedicated people who are dedicated to water quality and make improvements throughout our wastewater system, not just to treat and transfer wastewater, but to improve the water quality throughout our region. Everywhere I go and talking to folks, they are dedicated. They believe in it. Our folks, such as the engine mechanics or our engineers, they're not just a mechanic anywhere. They're a mechanic here because they really believe in water quality and in improving our environment. But I'm going to speak a little bit just about history. About 100 years ago, our forefathers and foremothers thought about a lot of different things. And I don't know that much about our city's history, but I do know that they made some innovative infrastructure investments, like created a water supply up in the mountains. That's very, very unique for a region. Our water is largely untreated because, and doesn't need to be, and it's very, very high quality. The string of pearls around Lake Washington, I believe, is part of an Olmsted legacy. That's kind of innovative thinking that they were doing 100 years ago, 100 plus years ago. And they were also putting together a wastewater treatment, not treatment system, but a conveyance system. And about 100 years ago, they built the very first siphon. I don't exactly know the material it was made out of, but we know after 100 years it's not going to work very well. After 100 years, we put together a program, I believe it was about 4 years in the making, where we had to do a number of improvements out here to put together some 5-foot diameter pipes, two, I believe, to carry enough effluent to go 220 million gallons a day at maximum capacity. So that's half of our treatment plant capacity at West Point. So you can imagine the large area it connects to. I wasn't here. I have been honored to be the director for the last 6 months, but I've heard some great stories about how this came to be. First I heard, well, it kind of stinks. And I know my colleagues well enough to know, they probably said, well, we don't stink. But then it probably did, really. And so they put together some odor control facilities. We listened to folks and worked with you. It didn't take them long to convince that it didn't stink, I'm sure. We also heard from folks that you really wanted to preserve sight lines to the water. I would also say that people wanted it to fit into the neighborhood, and we did that. The architectural design intended to be a close replica of a brewery, which is now Theo's Chocolate, in your neighborhood here. And then finally the landscaping. We were asked to make it fit in, make it a native landscaping as much as we could, and we worked with you to figure out what type of landscaping would work. And finally, the artwork on this is stunning. We have with us our artist, Perry. I will introduce her in a minute. But I also want to thank the neighborhood. Thank the neighborhood for your patience. We know in coming in and reconstructing old infrastructure in an urban neighborhood, it's not easy. It takes a lot. We have to displace some businesses. We displace parking temporarily. We make noise and dust, and it's a lot of work right in the middle of your backyards. And so we appreciate all the patience that you've demonstrated and you've given us to allow us to do this project. So with that, I would like to, first, before I introduce Perry, I'd like to introduce Will Schroof. Richard Will. Will's one of our key employees who helped put this together, our project manager. Brought it in under budget by $2 million or more, so we really appreciate that. The final numbers aren't in, as well as brought it in before it was deadline scheduled, so that was a lot of work to be done. And with that, I'm going to conclude my remarks, but I do want to turn it over to Perry Howard because she wanted to say a few things, our artist.
Thank you so much. So as an artist, I have to say I'm so honored to have this amazing canvas to work with. and this amazing group of people as well. It's been a wonderful project. And if it's not already totally obvious, it's usually the public art on these projects that carry the lightest load. We show up late after all the hard work is done. We like to rearrange things. And you can bet that we'll ask to borrow your ladder and maybe some other tools as they're being loaded onto the truck at quitting time. We're out there testing the lights at 9 p.m., which means that someone from King County had to be out there too, on the solstice, right? So nice and late. But I'd really like to thank, again, Will Schroof for his incredible leadership, and the team from King County Wastewater Treatment Division, and Stellar J, our general contractor, for lending us a ladder and being such a great patient leadership through the whole process. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Stellar J. Okay, so Streamline stands as an example of what happens when artists and engineers enter into conversations together and start asking each other questions. And I'm so grateful to Charles Young, to Jeffrey Schmidt, and the team from MWH Global, who very patiently and very expertly brought the hydrology report down to my level so that I could play with it and bat it around a little bit. And the interpretive panels out front will explain what the art is all about. So thank you so much for your collaboration. Is anyone from MWH here still? Yes? Wonderful, thank you. So this artwork is 4 years in the making, and Kath Brunner from For Culture has shepherded this project from the very beginning to the dedication today. So thank you, Kath, so much for your leadership and your support. It's been such a pleasure to work with you. And I also want to thank Michael Poppany, who is our artist liaison from the Wastewater Treatment Division in King County. Thank you, Michael. I don't know if he's here, but I hope he hears this from afar. Okay, and Streamline was designed by me, but it was Karen and Brad Rains from the Design 9 group that translated this design into glass. And Pulp Studio from LA fabricated the artwork from afar and then shipped it to Herzog Glass here in Seattle. And you can thank the very talented Gwen de Monbeam for getting our glow on. She did the lighting plan, and come by and check it out at night because I think it's looking great. So thank you so much. And in closing too, I would just like to express my heartfelt appreciation to the Fremont neighborhood, to the Arts Council, to all of the neighbors who have been so patiently bearing with us through this process. Because it's you who keep the creative spark alive, really, in the hearts and the minds of artists, and you who light the way to bring the vibrancy to our communities. So thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you enjoy the artwork.
Thank you, Perry. It's just an honor to be a part of this. It's an honor to have artwork incorporated into our infrastructure and to be a part of your neighborhood. We're going to be here for a long time. The city's going to be here for a long time. And we're committed to being an asset to the neighborhood.
I think it's really a wonderful job. And I think King County, was it King County mostly? Has been exceptionally good about outreach to the neighborhood, and Will particularly has been attentive to the neighbors and made everything easy for us, given us lots of information about what's going on. And we're delighted with the artwork and the way the building looks. And most of all, it's controlling the odor, which is fantastic.
Yeah, very nice. I think it fits in well. I love the art. And maintain it, keep it looking good.